Thanks for checking in. Today we're going to talk about overstaying your non-immigrant visa. And let's chat about a little bit what that means. So if you go back to our old blog, make sure you know the difference between your I-94 expiration date and your visa expiration date. The I-94 date is what the officer, when you enter the country, either stamps you in for, and that will be on the online site. Again, the blog is below, and you can also check on that link to check that date. Overstay is when you stay over the I-94 date. And that's when the date that I-94 expires is the date that unlawful time begins to accrue. The other thing that you need to keep in mind is if you're here on a student visa or a type of visa that has the DS, so the DS on the visa, your unlawful time begins to accrue once you stop kind of obeying the rules of that visa. So if you're here on a student visa and it's DS, but you stop going to school or you don't maintain full-time studies, that's when the unlawful time will accrue from when you go out of that full-time status. What are the consequences of overstay? The main consequence of overstaying initially is that your visa will be invalidated and you won't be able to renew your visa except at your home country. Once you accrue 180 days of unlawful time, you're then subject to a 3-year bar. If you overstay a full year, you will then be subject to a 10-year bar. These are pretty big deals and they're really hard to overcome. You have to file what's called a hardship waiver, which proves that your inability to come back to the US creates a substantial hardship for a US citizen. And it's not a substantial pain in the neck, it's a hardship. You have to prove a substantial hardship. So very tricky. What are the times where the overstay doesn't accrue? The main one that we see in the office here is when you're under the age of 18. When you're under the age of 18, your unlawful time does not accrue. So that's just something to keep in mind. There are some other areas which may allow you to not have accrued unlawful time. They're a little bit more technical, so feel free to call your friendly immigration attorney or call our office and we can chat with you about it. Take real close notice of your I-94 expiration dates. If you overstay, it has some really serious repercussions and will give you a major headache. So keep an eye on that. If you have any questions, call our office, and I look forward to speaking with some of you soon.